Hello and welcome to another video. It's been a little while since I've posted a regular video. I did a large video essay a couple of weeks ago, probably a few weeks ago at this point, and that just took a lot out of me, so I wanted to take a little bit of a break. But I'm back and here for another video and another review. As you probably saw by the title or the thumbnail on this one, I'm going to be talking about the latest Penguin series from the DCU. I was really anticipating this series, went in, watched it, had a really great time with it, so I wanted to share my overall thoughts and review on that show overall. So without further ado, let's get ready, let's jump in. Right off the bat, I'm going to spoil not the show, but my thoughts on the show, and tell you that I think it's one of the greatest series from this year, and it is possibly one of the best series of all time. And at the very least, it is definitely one of the greatest superhero projects or superhero properties that I've probably ever seen. From beginning to end, the story and the characters that fill these stories hook you, and they really just keep you on the edge of your seat throughout every single episode, all across the grand scope of the stories that are being told throughout. There's a really compelling journey for each character that's involved. There's quite a large main cast for this one, but it never loses itself of the main story that it's telling and the main characters that are at play in this game that we're kind of experiencing throughout the story of taking over Gotham City in this emptiness that has been left after the events of the Batman film. And that is all really well done and really well executed by the writing team on this one and the characters that they've developed to fill those stories. The production on this movie, I'm even saying movie. The production on this series, I would even venture to say, is on the same level as the Batman movie that is the predecessor to this series. It has beautiful sets and locations that really just immerse you in the world that kind of is the underbelly of Gotham City. Oswald Cobb, or the Penguin, is carried over perfectly from the film. There's a lot of really deep and challenging explorations on his character, his psyche, really figuring out how he ticks. And we get to focus on that a lot throughout this series. Victor, played by Renzi Feliz, is a bit of an underling and a servant to Oz's character. I wasn't sure about his character initially just because it was an actor I wasn't super familiar with, except for a couple of small projects here and there. But each episode really made me care more and more about him, and his growth and development throughout was some of the most compelling story that was being told throughout the series. And then finally, amongst the really main primary cast, we have Sophia Falcone, played flawlessly by Kristen Milioti. She is kind of the main antagonist throughout this series. In my opinion, she nearly outshines the Penguin in his own show with the role that she plays and the caliber of a performance that she gives. On top of that, we have a really strong supporting cast as well. I think of Frances comes to mind, which is Cobb's mother. Salvatore Moroni by Clancy Brown. Always great to see Clancy Brown show up in something. And there's even more beyond that. I just loved how every character really worked into the dynamic and the chemistry of the just mix of characters that we got to experience throughout. We got to see a lot of different pair-ups and combinations of characters and interactions throughout, and the way that they chose to execute those and flow those throughout the story was really effective. I also really appreciated that every episode truly mattered. Everything had high stakes. There was always some kind of significant event taking place. There was no real fluff or filler throughout any of the episodes, and the pacing is fantastic. Without spoiling anything, the finale has me clamoring for more. I can't wait to explore Matt Reeves' world of the Batman more and sequel films and hopefully more spin-off series. If this is a sign of the direction the DCU is going, even though the Batman kind of universe is a little bit separate from the James Gunn DCU, I'm still very excited at the possible future that we have for all of these different characters and stories that are going to be told. One of the most impactful things about the show is the fact that you have no idea where it's going episode to episode. You're always trying to not necessarily keep up, but you're always guessing what could be happening, but it's always going to shock you. There's always going to be some kind of a twist that you did not expect. And the final moments, I will not spoil anything, but the final moments of the final episode for the season are really gut-wrenching in many different ways. They're very powerful and impactful for the characters that we've been following throughout the series, and it's not what I expected in a finale, but I think it shows true talent all the more for it and because of it. In the end, I ended up giving the Penguin series a 10 out of 10. Like I said, it is one of my favorite series to come out so far this year, and even though we're wrapping up this year at this point, but it is still in November one of the best series we've gotten so far this year. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the Penguin series. Give a spoiler warning if you do want to talk about anything spoiler related, just for people who have not had a chance to check it out yet. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I will see you in the next one.